in the middle there. So where our jets are is inside this little thing right here, and to get that out, same kind of deal. We'll use this and put it on the side. We're just gonna pry it out. That's it. That's all there is to it. Once you have that, go ahead and dump the rest of the fuel out there. And this is what you have here. You have this little jet pack, and this is where the problem is. Grab the cow here. So the next process here, which is fairly simple, is we're going to clean the jets out of here. And the way we do that is you'll notice on the top there's this little other piece. So I'm going to pull these apart. And you'll notice in between there's these little tiny jets. Let me see. Notice these little tiny passageways right here. You know, right in here and here and here. So what I'm going to do is I just got a tip cleaner from, I just have a tip cleaner from the welding store. I weld on this. I like to weld too, so I have these little things around already. Kind of hard to see. So there's a couple there, and there's also this one right here. You got to make sure you clean this one out good. You can use some carb cleaner. Carb cleaner is good as well. You want to make sure you use eye protection, but I just kind of blow them out, make sure they're clean. If they're really bad, I'll use carb cleaner. For the most part, I don't. I try not to use too much carb cleaner. So at that point, that is done. You can kind of tell everything looks pretty good. Now I'm going to slide this bad boy back on. And it kind of like, you're going to come over here and it clips in there. At that point, I'm going to grab this, trying to keep this float pointing up. If this pin will slide, it just kind of clips in there. So you want to keep it pointing up. You can kind of tell there's some stuff in there too. Let me grab a little carb cleaner. Little carb cleaner in there, and you know, just a little bit, doesn't need much. I'll do the same thing with this jet right here. That's it, that's all I need. You don't need a lot. So when you look in here, you got to make sure the orientation. Now you'll see on the one side it's lower on one side. You could also mark your orientation by this pointing out on this one. So you pop that in there, and you're going to want to make sure that gets seated correctly, all the way flush. That's got to get seated flush. From that point, we're just going to go and put it back together in the reverse order. This goes on a certain way too. So if you see this little deal is off-centered. This is off-centered, the square part of that, so that wants to go that way. And then you line these up and press that back in there. 2 9/32 screws. I gotta twist it a little bit here. Kind of get these lined up well the first time, it makes it a little easier. But there you go, so that's all lined up there. 9/32 screws back in. I'm going to adjust that camera angle there a little bit so you can see a little better. Boom. So that's all cleaned up. Now we're going to take this fuel tank that we went and cleaned out. We're going to put it back together. We're just going to slide that bad boy back on there, nice, and make sure it fits flush. And then we'll put our fuel line clips back up to the manufacturer, the same place it was when we found it. So this whole unit is ready to go back on the lawnmower.